Part of me
Glint
wants
it
to
off.
like. So what's do you know that stupid thing of was it disappear for 6 months, completely change, like come back. It's like a Sigma thing of like.
Yeah, you're going to the woods.
Yeah, going to like into the woods or just like disappearing, working like grind every day, hustle every day, come back 6 months different, become unrecognizable.
Yeah.
You study Marcus Aurelius.
I know it's such a meme and so like, oh, what a loser. This is like so unhealthy, toxic kind of thing. But at the same time, I froth for that shit.
It's primal. It's deep.
It's
Hey, Björn,
It's a primal urge.
Yo, bro.
Yes, man.
Is it
Don't ever
weird
do that
for
again.
a group of 28 and 29-year-olds to be doing that?
Yeah, dude.
No, I'm 23.
Forever 23, dude. Either way, so I'm gonna become unrecognizable. I'm just gonna get a piercing. You're not gonna see me for 6 months, and all I'm gonna get
You
is
come back with a piercing.
You're just gonna have one streak in your hair. Like, guys, I changed.
I'm a whole
Did you guys
different
ever watch
person.
The Life and Times of Juniper Lee back in the day.
Yes, that's
Great show.
That's the first time I ever heard the phrase "cool beans."
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
I thought I was the originator. Kieran, can you remember?
The first time I heard cool beans.
No. The Life and Times of Juniper Lee.
I don't think so. Maybe
It's
just
the
give
one
me some
where only like
descriptors.
her family can see monsters.
Well, she specifically. It's like she's from a lineage of monster hunters or something.
Was this like a Cartoon Network?
Yeah,
thing?
it was one of those weird ones.
Well, let me see. I might recognize the images.
It was like that same time with like was it
I do remember.
not Robot?
I do remember.
Was it Robot
this.
Boy?
I
I think it was Robot Boy. Also,
So she has a single streak of color in her hair, which signifies she's part of this lineage. And when she goes into like the spiritual stuff, I think her whole hair goes that color. I don't know. It felt like a Sailor Moon kind of trance.
I don't know. I didn't follow the show too well. It wasn't like one of my
Dude,
faves.
I can't.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
can't
my
remember.
favorite, but I do remember the. I remember. The
Was it
character.
Cartoon-
Her little brother looks like Stitch, by the way.
Was it
Like-
Cartoon Network or was it Disney?
You'd think there'd be more branding on it.
Oh no, there, Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network.
Cartoon
yeah.
Network, man.
So that's a classic little show from back in the DDR.
It's a throwback.
Anyways.
Grim and Mandy. Or
Anyways,
some shit.
hello and welcome to the Underleveled podcast.
No. Welcome to the Underleveled playoffs, where we will be versing each other 1v1 to decide who will be the champion.
Oh wow,
This is
news.
this is news to me.
Where all the refs will be easily bribed.
Okay, wait.
and rigged.
What are we
sport?
fighting to the
What-
death?
How is this are we fighting? Are we playing a sport? What are we doing?
Oh, we can do whatever we want. It's the playoffs, man.
Rock paper scissors.
Well, no. What? No.
It's the playoffs.
The
We can do
playoffs.
Yeah. We can just, it's our rules.
Is he talking about American football or?
Well, right now we're in
Oh
the
my
NBA
gosh.
playoffs.
Okay, NBA, right? Mile high.
I'm repping Denver
are
Nuggets.
very nice.
You are.
My boy.
You are South
My
African.
boy Nikola Jokic.
You are not.
The Serb.
You are not from the US,
You are
dude.
so
You can't
lucky.
be
Can I not?
wearing that
Can I
stuff.
not?
That's
appreciate-
appropriation.
It's a sport.
It's a sport. We love sports. Sport.
Yeah, go team.
Sport's the best.
Go score a.
we're nerds. We're not allowed to watch sport, dude.
Go score a touchdown, B.
What did you call me?
Nerd.
Wow, that's a slur. I'm taking you to HR.
Kieran?
Hey, what's up? I'm HR. What did he call you?
What's the
What'd you say?
ruling? I called him a nerd.
Yeah. Sorry.
If the shoe fits. Imagine HR was like that. Yeah, like, oh, this person, they called me a slur in the office. And
Yeah,
HR's like,
it's
well, if
nerd.
the shoe
Well, I mean-
fits.
You do wear glasses. You do wear glasses.
That is horrendous. Oh, my goodness.
Your Honor, my client was just being a silly goose.
The silly goose defense. It's a
Okay.
great
But yeah, welcome to the Underleveled podcast. My
Woo-hoo.
name is
Welcome,
Björn.
welcome.
I'm Hushav.
I'm Kieran.
And I think for today, I want us to play a little game to explain what we're doing. Okay. So we're going to do that game where you say one word each and you need to make a sentence. And we are going to be talking about...
Oh, you were the worst camp counselor ever.
This is
I
gonna be.
never was a camp counselor, and I know I'd be a bad... Like,
Why do you
what?
give off camp counselor energy though?
I give off youth pastor. Let's talk about that.
Youth past the energy.
What made you
Let's
want
go
to take
back.
that
How's that
from
make
the
you
store? I just need a guitar, dude. But okay, so I will start us off, and we're trying to explain to the viewers what we're doing, right?
All right.
Today
Our
Mission.
is
to
Explain.
what
the
Mysteries.
of
video.
Game.
Yeah.
just game
Yeah, I'm just giving you game.
is
Franchise.
wait
Oh shit! No, I skipped.
wait.
Okay. Let's try that again.
we just.
Well, if you can solve that, you are one step to understanding today's subject.
We're talking about mysteries, guys.
Yeah, we're
We are
talking about video
We're
game
talking about
mysteries.
video game
Yeah,
mysteries.
we are hopping into the Mystery Incorporated van and searching out for all them mysteries in video games.
Join Scoob.
Cheaper, Scoob.
Ah, so
Raggy.
grab your Scooby snacks and let's get into
Scooby
it.
Snacks.
Get
dude.
out of here, Velma.
And you know what
Why am I
Scooby
Velma?
snacks are, right? We're all
You're the worst.
we're all old enough to know.
You
what that
mean
meant.
Velma's the reason why they solve 90%
she's-
of
yeah,
their
100%.
mysteries?
She's also a baddie.
You're thinking of the live action one or the cartoon one?
Live action.
Wait, who directed the live actions? Because
James Gunn.
James Gunn, and he just boobs. That's all he wants.
No.
Boobs.
It was a tight orange.
For some reason,
like,
you seem to be
jumpsuit.
confusing James Gunn with Michael Bay.
No, dude.
James Gunn is
do you
not,
not
boobs.
Dude, do you not remember the
James
first
Gunn is not
live
boobs.
action?
You heard it here first.
Yes.
Mystery Incorporated.
It's Scooby Doo. First
Yeah.
of all, it's not called Mystery
So
Incorporated.
That's what I said.
That's the one where they go to the island.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
go to the island, and it's just boobs, dude.
Where?
All the females like
They're
wear
on a party island,
exclusively like skimpy outfits.
Bjorn, they're on a beach on a tropical island. They are just dressing for the occasion.
No, they aren't.
Women can dress like that, Bjorn.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's a thing. There's literally people have like watched and been like, oh yeah, no, James Gunn is just like
No.
there for boobs.
Guardians of the Galaxy? Where are the boobs?
Alien boobs. Different.
I'm not saying all films, but this is the early 2000s. It was a different time.
It was a different time.
Rewatch the first Scooby Doo and then come back to me because I think your memory's real hazy.
No.
What does Fred do the first thing he does when he like switches bodies
That's
with
Shaggy.
Daphne?
Oh yeah,
No, no.
yeah, you're
Wait,
right.
does Shaggy?
No, it is Fred.
Fred switches with
Or was
Daphne
it
and then
Shaggy?
immediately looks at his boobs. Well,
As-
her boobs. What is the technicality?
But that
here?
is not just everything being about boobs. You just picked one scene.
I feel like this is a definite thread that I've picked up on.
Mm.
I feel like I watched a YouTube video essay where they talked a lot about
boobs. You watched the boob short.
He was just on Pornhub.
Yeah.
Okay, my memory is foggy, but I can guarantee you there is a person that I used to watch on YouTube who potentially talked about the boobage. This is a lot of time.
Maybe he was just like someone who was very sheltered, and that was like the first real movie he watched. And he's like, "Oh my god, there's boobs anywhere."
I mean, look, man, we all had ETV back in the day. Tonight.
Ani.
When it hit 12 p.m.
But so speaking of
Wild
Mystery
West.
Incorporated, you know, mysteries, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Got
Very sidetracked. Obsessed with boobs.
Boobs could be classified as a mystery as well.
I realize this is potentially coming off worse than I wanted it to, but it's fine. The people that love me and
It's
accept
fine.
me for
HR
who I
wants
am.
to see you after this.
Once again,
What did you
Kieran,
say?
if the shoe fits,
Boobs? Yeah.
if the shoe fits. Dude, I love our HR department. I can do no
HR.
wrong.
It's actually pronounced her. Her.
But yeah, so we've
Arr.
selected a couple of unsolved video game mysteries, right? This is from pretty.
Not unsolved, or maybe just they were long. There was a long time to solve them, or they are currently unsolved.
Okay, so mine is unsolved. We do not have a definitive answer. Yours is
Unsolved.
unsolved. Does not have.
Mine is technically solved, but still debated heavily.
Solved.
So what do the Mythbusters do? It's like myth busted.
Yeah,
myth,
but
what
it's-
is it when the myth is confirmed? Is it
Myth
just say,
confirmed.
It's a-
myth confirmed.
So that's what we're doing today. We're doing mysteries confirmed or whatever.
Yeah. I'm just.
You know the
I'm
two main
leaning more
guys
into-
like hated each other.
Yeah. What's it? Adam Savage and
Jamie.
Jamie Heineman.
Yo,
Hyman.
Hyman. I remember that show, dude. It was a good time. That was before Forged in Fire took over my life. I used to watch that.
Fortune 500.
Forged in Fire.
Don't
It's
know.
a show where you people they get blacksmiths to come in.
Is it a
and
Netflix
make-
original show by any chance?
I don't think so.
I've seen
I
something
watched it
similar
on
Netflix.
Because I feel like
History
Netflix.
Channel.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because it's not a competition thing where they're like forging weapons as a
it
competition.
is. Yeah, they have to make a weapon
Oh.
from history.
Because I feel like Netflix has a lot of like it has the glass blowing one. It has a whole bunch of weird like almost formerly niche competition things.
Yeah.
Because they're super cheap to make and it bloats out their overall streaming.
Library. Yeah. Okay. Wacky Jacky. Sorry. So who are we going to start? Should we do a little nursery rhyme? To choose where to start.
But like a eeny meeny.
Eine kleine Mickey Maus.
Maus.
Sag mal ihre
Aber ist
Hose
er
aus.
aus.
Zog sie wieder an Und
This is
du
how we kill time to get
bist
mid rolls.
Anders. Okay,
Kieran,
I'll go first.
you're up. Kieran, you're up.
I'm coming
okay.
on. I'm coming in the frame. People don't panic. It's
Woo-hoo.
been a while.
Insane. I do need.
Sort out
Coffee.
a few things here and grab my coffee.
We're just swapping things around a bit. We're doing
Good
a little
evening.
dance, you know, a little bit of romance. Delicious. Wow, Kieran, you look great on camera, dude.
Do I?
You do. This color works for you.
What's up, people? It's been not so long.
Got more piercings since the last
Yeah.
time you've been on.
One more. I got this one, and that's it. But yeah, I am here to talk about some interesting mysteries today, and I'm gonna need your help, Shavi and Björn.
As always.
And we're gonna go through, I guess, two mysteries that I'm gonna bring forward. One of them is from Dark Souls. It's my favorite game franchise, and the other is from Demon Souls, which came before Dark Souls, and is also part of the Souls franchise. So it's like similar-ish mysteries. Okay, first mystery. I'm just gonna jump straight in.
Go for it.
I want to talk about Solaire. Now, Solaire
Solaire from which game?
from Dark Souls.
Okay.
The original Dark Souls.
The
Dark Souls
original from what year? Do you know?
2006.
Jeepers.
Something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Break it
Maybe
down.
2009. Actually, you know.
Break it down for us
fact check that.
who know nothing about Dark Souls.
Okay, Dark Souls. So just for a general overview, Dark Souls is not for the faint of heart. It's a difficult game.
Would
it's
you
a
call it
old
like
school-
dark gothic? Like it's a gothic kind of
Yeah,
experience.
like fantasy.
Yeah. So if you think of
wouldn't
like,
Life of P be more dark gothic?
Yeah, well, that would be more gothic.
isn't
This would
sorry,
be high
is
fantasy.
dark gothic potentially redundant because gothic is typically dark.
Yeah.
But so it's like a gothic-ish kind of world.
Yeah, it's like a desolate world that's gone through, or is a dying world.
Yeah.
It's in the process of dying, and you are there to try and either save the world and relight its flame, or put out its flame and let
Okay.
the world fall into darkness and become the ruler. That's kind of like the end goal of the game. And what you're doing is you're exploring the world. It's a primarily exploration combat game. Going
Mhm.
through levels, you're going through, you're traveling through the world. And in Dark Souls 1, the cool thing about it was built so that it was like a cake. So everything, all the levels are intertwined, and they go
Yeah.
like this. Like they go from like the darkest dungeon all the way up to the highest peak. And then they have a few areas that you fly to and do things in. But it's all an interconnected world. And the cool thing about what I'm going to talk about today is there's this awesome character, a fan favorite, one of the coolest characters from the Souls games, and that's Solaire. He's the Knight of Sunlight, one of the first NPCs you meet in the game.
Is this who Swagger Souls based his look off?
I think so, maybe. I'm not actually too familiar with Swagger Souls.
Really?
And I'm a
I
big
think he
fan.
just has a knight helm.
Yeah.
Like it's the
I'm
same
pretty sure
helmet.
he also had the same thing as his profile picture.
Well,
yeah, then it
maybe.
might be. Because, I mean, does he play a lot of Souls games?
No, he just wears a big helmet like that all the time.
Okay,
Never
well
shows his
then
face.
Maybe,
Although
maybe.
recently he has, but he's taken the helmet off and now it's like chainmail over and you can just see his eyes.
I do know this guy. The
He's a-
chainmail guy.
Yeah, he's in that Australian group, Misfits.
Misfits.
Yeah.
Because there's also, sidetrack, but there's another streamer, an old school streamer, Mr. Llama, and he used to stream with a whole suit of chainmail on.
That
Jesus.
sounds
Like a real
horrid.
suit.
That sounds so like just like a terrible
He
time.
stopped doing that, obviously, because like it was crazy. But there's a GDQ of him doing a speedrun through Diablo 2, and he's wearing the chainmail in the speedrun and explaining to everyone how he's going through the game. Anyway, this is Solaire. Now, Solaire, Knight of Sunlight. Now, initially when you meet him, he's chilling, looking over a vista, and there's just like this beautiful sunrise and clouds, and it's just like light, and it's like the first time in the game that you come to an area where nothing is like gonna harm you in this space. It's just like
Safe space.
it's a safe-ish space, and he's there, and you click on him, and he says, "What's up?" And he says, "Wait, it doesn't say what's up." That would be weird. But he basically talks to you, and he talks to you about the sun, and he's looking for he's all about the sun. Big fan, and his iconic pose here is praise the sun, which is as all Dark Souls. And it's an emote that you get from him. And essentially what I want to talk about is, for a long time, in the community before Dark Souls 3 or any other later games came out. This guy was a big subject of conversation about who he was in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the theories was that he was actually the son of Gwyn. Now, Gwyn in the game is kind of like the god of the world, like that of this part of the universe that you're in, this city, this land.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a godly figure. He can like throw lightning bolts and destroy stone dragons and shit.
Is he the god of the dying world?
Yes, he's
Okay.
the one who linked the first flame, or he like he's one. He linked the first flame.
He's the
And-
deity that was like there. That
Yeah.
he like formed the world. This is his world to reign over.
Yeah, he took it over from the dragons. essentially.
Okay.
Okay, so he's kind of like, you can think of him as the main god. And this guy, all he talks about is the sun. And what is the symbol of the sun? Gwyn. Gwyn's symbol is the tree. He's also all about the first flame and the sun. And so for a long time, people thought that he was the son of Gwyn. Why?
Why? Yeah.
Here's a little tidbit. Now, if I have, let me just check if it's actually here.
You can also just scroll.
I think it might not have been included in this one, but essentially, next to Solaire, there's a little area where you meet him on a bridge. You cross the bridge. This big ass dragon comes down, breathes fire. You got to run under the bridge, escape the fire, and you get out to the other side, open a gate, and there's a shrine. And the shrine is basically like a broken statue. It's got like feet and a spear, and it's a shrine to who is known as the god of war, and that for a long time was believed to be Solaire, which is this guy. And people theorize that he's linked in some way to Gwyn, and therefore is a son of Gwyn, because you find him close to that statue. He's all about praise the sun, and he arrives there, and like he's kind of like hanging out in that area. And as you progress through the game, he gives you more lore about it. But to make a long story short and not piss off too many Souls fans, that was the theory until Dark Souls 3. And the reason it changed in Dark Souls 3 is because we actually met the son of Gwyn, and his name is the Nameless King.
So, actually, something I'm wondering is all the Dark Souls set in the same like planet or area, like where Dark Souls 1 ends and Dark Souls 2 picks up? Like, there's evidence of what happened in the previous.
Yes, so they're all linked. The lore, especially, like if you go from Dark Souls 1 to Dark Souls 3, areas of Dark Souls 1 are in Dark Souls 3, so you immediately have a link there. And they're linked via worlds, not necessarily by the same world. So it's like, think of it like Dark Souls 3 happens in a different era, in a different land.
I mean, are we talking about like Tree of Life? Like
Yeah, I was
you
about
have
to say that, Tree of
God,
Life.
you
Yeah,
have
kinda like-
Niflheim.
Like it's interconnected. Even Bloodborne and Demon Souls, there's ways to link the games via lands or like land masses, where it's like
Wait.
Bloodborne is in a different...
Are we same
Wait, so
planet?
same-
Yeah.
Same planet,
Mm.
different continents.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So not different worlds.
Yeah, but in the third one, what starts happening is the planes start converging. Like areas from Dark Souls 1 appear in Dark Souls 3, but Dark Souls 3 is set in a different...
I
it's
don't
hard to explain.
understand because but this means that they are different, like universes.
Yes, but the characters and items and descriptions and environments kind of link all the worlds.
So it's almost like alternate worlds, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like in an alternate universe, I am like a 15-foot tall woman.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, but it's still me. It's
Yeah.
just different universe, same DNA.
You're just Nordic.
Nordic.
You talk like this.
My name is Björn. Björnita.
Björnita.
Oh, no, that's more Spanish, isn't it? Either way, so
So this guy
Um,
is the Nameless King.
he's the
And
name.
we find out in the third game that he's actually the god of war, the son of Gwyn.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a dragon. I think you can't really see it here, but yeah, he's a super difficult fight, one of the hardest fights in Dark Souls 3. And the reason why people were like this is the son is because it literally is his lore. Like when you pick up the item descriptions on him, tell you like who he is, and also that statue that I showed you. Oh no, I didn't have it here. That statue I described, where it's like a broken statue with like a spear. It's the same spear that he has in his hand there.
Okay.
and it's the same. That spear is in the shrine in Dark Souls 1.
So talk to me. This is a solved mystery, right?
Yeah.
I do want to know why. So he's obviously a bad guy. The nameless king is a bad dude. He's
just a dude.
But you, I guess so. If he is the son of the god of this realm.
Yeah, I think he betrayed his father though.
Okay, a bit of a fallen from grace kind of story.
Fallen from grace.
So solved mystery. How was it like? It was only in Dark Souls 3, which came out when?
Dark Souls 1 was 2000, and I want to say, you know what? I don't want to guesstimate, so we can maybe put that in. But it was like 2010, 2012.
So there were maybe like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Of people thinking that Solaire was the son of Gwyn.
Or one of the sons of Gwyn, yeah.
One of the sons.
There's
Have we met any
one.
of... Oh, okay. So the Nameless King is one of them.
Yeah.
Is there another one that we've yet to meet?
So Gwendolyn is in Dark Souls 1, and he's like hidden away in Analondo behind like an invisible wall.
Mm-hmm.
And like that was also like a mystery for a while. It was like no one knew about that, and then someone discovered that you could break this wall and go through, and you could fight Gwendolyn. Who's like one of the last gods left in Analondo. And Analondo is the realm of the gods.
Okay.
So it's like the city in the clouds.
Okay.
Where the gods lived.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, that was a mystery for a while that I thought was interesting. And I know I probably got some things wrong. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you know anything about how it was received? Like, how did you, when you found that out, were you like, oh, well, bummer, would have been cool?
Bit of a bummer, because Solaire, if you play through Dark Souls,
he's like, a fan favorite character. Like, so obviously, cool. You want him to be like a prominent figure in the world as well.
And like, there's still some people that argue that he could be
unclaimed
one of the
king, unclaimed son, yeah.
And I mean, that's a whole Reddit post in itself.
In Elden Ring, was it no more information provided for people to speculate on?
Elden Ring, I haven't finished Elden Ring.
But isn't that separate?
I thought Elden Ring is still in. Is this Dark Souls?
It's a separate world, but like I said before, things from the other things from the other world.
Oh, sorry, I have a correction for
like,
you on that.
Okay, hit me with it.
All 3 Dark Souls games take place in the same world.
Yeah.
But are from different times and different places.
You know what?
Okay. That's and then in Dark Souls 3 is where the times start converging.
Yeah.
Based on what you explained.
So
but the world in Dark Souls 3 is centered around Lothric, but the world has become distorted and twisted, drawing many lands together.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
awesome.
maybe you see, like I got some lore wrong there, but you know, we keep moving. That's fine.
We keep moving. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. That's super cool.
Yeah. What I wanted to share with you guys.
Hushav, how are you feeling about your mystery? What have you got to share with us today?
All right, grab your popcorn, because there's some shit going on in GTA 5. Just like going over this makes me reappreciate how huge GTA 5 is and just how much they really packed into that game. But anyways, my mystery takes place in Grand Theft Auto 5, obviously San Andreas, well, the area of San Andreas. What?
Nothing.
Speak your mind.
San Andreas.
I'm sorry,
Burrito.
Barcelona.
Sorry, I'm being a little shithead. Don't mind me.
So this mystery actually starts before GTA 5, when the trailers first came out.
So, I mean, for a bit of context, what is the name of the mystery?
Mount Chiliad.
Yeah, the Mount Chiliad mystery, and it started before the game was released, and it's still ongoing.
Today.
Yeah.
So, back when the trailers were coming out for GTA 5, people noticed a shed on Mount Chiliad. And obviously, ever since GTA 3, San Andreas, which is set in the same area, there has always been rumors about the mountain and Bigfoot being on this mountain and maybe living on some shed. You'd always get little clues about Bigfoot being in the game, GTA 3 that is, from radio hosts, crazy people on the street, whatever.
Can we just do a quick, side note, I spat everywhere. A little bit of appreciation for the radios in the
GTA.
Grand Theft Auto games. It's just
life of their
so
own.
good. It is so phenomenal. Just a bit, much love.
No, 100% with you. I love listening to all the crazy people call into the radios. Personally, my favorite radio was Radio X on in GTA San Andreas.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember if I had a favorite one for GTA 5.
So
But I
Bigfoot,
think GTA 3 was probably, out of all the GTAs, was the one I spent the most time in.
Yeah.
Bigfoot lives up there.
So,
So,
just
yes.
for a bit of context, you can see up there.
Sorry, audio listeners.
Which
Oh yeah. So this is a picture of one of the like.
This is from the trailer that people first picked out. They're like, what is that?
I
The
see. Yeah.
It's like a, almost.
You can
It
see it.
looks like a structure at the top of Mount Chiliad.
top? Yeah.
So I think also we do know that in real life this could be based on real life.
It is. So San Andreas is based on the California area.
Yeah, and there are people out there that believe that Bigfoot is chilling in the forest.
Yeah. Every now and then
It's
there's always
wild.
somebody with a shaky cam.
Yeah, doing the Bigfoot sound.
Yeah. It's funny you say
Great.
Bigfoot sounds because we're gonna get to that later on in this.
Yeah, I want to hear it. I'm excited.
So yeah. Anyways, people are getting really excited. Previously, the head game developer for GTA 3 said that they did have plans to have Bigfoot in the game, but he was scrapped. So people were really hoping for GTA 5 that they were finally going to
So
get
like a mission where you-
Bigfoot for this.
Yeah.
So anyways, game comes out. People immediately head straight to Mount Chiliad.
Very cool.
They want to see what the structure is. They
What is
climb. This is first of all, Mount Chiliad is the biggest mountain or highest peak in the game.
Okay.
And if you're going there straight from kickoff, you don't have a plane or a helicopter anywhere.
So you're
So
gonna
you have to
walk
do
it.
things the old-fashioned way. Until people got there and discovered that it wasn't a shed, but it's like where it is a structure for the cable car. So you take a cable car from the bottom all the way to the top, and that was that shed shape that everybody saw in the
It
trailer.
was a cable car.
People were immediately disappointed because everyone's like, "Oh, we're finally going to get Bigfoot. This is going to be so cool to have Bigfoot finally be canon in the universe." I mean, Bigfoot is kind of canon in the Rockstar universe because if you've played Red Dead Redemption 1,
And 2. I think.
no,
No?
just 1.
Just one.
One you find,
You go
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot hunting.
and you actually, you kill like 6 or 7,
Mhm.
and then you let the last one
Was
go
that?
free.
But wasn't that only in the DLC, the like zombie DLC?
Couldn't tell you. I don't think it was in the DLC though, but you could be right.
I am gonna fight you on that, but
Sure, you can look that up in the meantime. Anyways, so people are disappointed, but looking around, the I don't know, what would you call that structure where cable cars go? House? Cable car house?
cable station.
Cable station. Thank you.
Maybe.
There's a mural of Mount Chiliad that looks really like it's like old school, like ancient, and it shows a picture of Mount Chiliad with this eye symbol on top.
Whoa.
And these symbols with like X's through it, and then right at the bottom, 3 big boxes that have where the one has a UFO, a picture of a UFO drawn, a picture of an egg, and a picture of a man on a jetpack.
And there's also like lightning bolts and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So this now kicks off the mystery of Mount Chiliad and aliens.
Very cool.
And if you were to just explore a little bit around Mount Chiliad, you would also find other symbols which are drawn in the same style that people believe are these missing symbols on the mural.
Oh, I see.
So people are hitting the forums. They're hitting
Right.
the subreddits. They were like, what is this? How can we like crack this
The code.
the code to what this is? If you continue to examine the station, you would find behind like the kind of station like carved into like the bottom of like one of the floorboards. I think it was, I can't remember the exact phrase, but it's like return here once your story is finished.
Okay.
So people are like, all right, step 1 is we need to complete the entire story of GTA 5.
Oh, sorry, I do have the image over here.
Oh, I see.
So this is a little
Yeah,
viewing
come back
platform.
when your story is complete.
Okay. So finish the game first.
So first of all, you didn't just have to finish the main story.
Yeah.
You had to finish everything. You had to do all the side
Content.
missions.
That's
also.
like 100% completion.
That's a lot.
That is a ton for sure.
Every mission.
Anyways, so 100% in the game, you are rewarded with the opportunity to see 3 alien ships at 3 different locations. 2 of them, if you are able to fly up and see the actual UFO spacecraft, you'll see that it has FIB written on it, which is GTA World's version of the FBI.
Yeah.
So these 2 spacecrafts are owned by the government.
Yeah.
However, the third one you find is completely different from the first 2 that you find, and in the design of the UFO, and that is the actual.
That's the aliens.
Yeah, one of them only like there were like certain conditions even to like see some of these
between 12 and 2 a.m.
Yeah, and it
like
has
a
to be
certain kind of
raining.
weather. Yeah.
So people, so yeah, this confirms that aliens do exist. But actually, if you
Like in real life.
yeah, yeah, unreal. But also if you play GTA 5 from the beginning in the tutorial, when you're playing, I can't remember the guy's name. Is it Mike?
Who?
The white, it's Trevor, Franklin, and Michael, right? Yeah, Michael.
Michael DeSantis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're running across the frozen lake, if you look down, you can find a frozen alien frozen in the lake.
Nice.
So aliens are canon in the GTA 5 universe.
Can you dig down and get that alien body?
You can shoot at the ice, but nothing will happen.
But anyway, so we found aliens, but that still doesn't explain the mural and how to solve the mystery of now the egg and the jetpack.
Yeah, what does the egg mean?
People don't know the connection, so people start seeing if they can clip through the map to think. They're thinking maybe there's something inside the mountain that there's to be discovered that hasn't been released yet. People are going through the code.
There is something in. Wait, sorry. Are we? I'm
holding up.
Okay. Sorry.
People are going through the code,
I'm
trying to discover trying to get any type of hint to what this mural is or what type of mystery it's going to lead us to. A lot of people were thinking that the egg represented kind of like an Easter egg, and there was just like something fun to find eventually. But anyways, through scrubbing the code or whatever, people find the code to these things called golden peyotes. Peyotes, is that how you say it?
The cactus.
The cactus juice.
Yeah.
So in the GTA, there are 27 cactuses. Peyote.
I don't know, it's me, man.
There's
You're the one with
27
the Spanish.
cactuses. Is it? No. Peyote. That you can like drink, and when you drink them, you can turn into an animal and just like do things as an animal. You can become like a falcon, a cow, like whatever. But there are now these 7 golden ones. Well, at the time, they didn't know there were 7. They found in the code this golden peyote. And when this guy went and found it and drank it, you were able to turn into Bigfoot.
I think what was the thing? He found one that was on a Tuesday in foggy weather between this time and this time if he'd completed like certain kinds of missions. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like the requirements to get there was very, very specific.
Yeah, sorry. Before that, in order to have it activated, there is a Bigfoot mission that you can only get once you've 100% of the game completely and you've went back to Mount Chiliad. There's a Bigfoot hunter who kind of like recruits you to try to hunt down Bigfoot because he is convinced there's a Bigfoot on this mountain. And just going through that mission, you do actually find Bigfoot, but it's a guy in a suit who's just been fucking with people. But anyways, that's the first requirement to get the golden peyote. Anyway, so you drink it, you become a Bigfoot, and people were like, happy days. They think that, this is it. This was one of the big mysteries.
You are Bigfoot.
Yeah, you become Bigfoot. You get like a 1-kill punch basically as Bigfoot. So people are like ecstatic. This is something that's been going on since GTA 3. Like we finally know the mystery behind Bigfoot. It's
Also, isn't this like 4 years after the game got released, right?
This is 4 years. This is
a lot of years of this mystery continuing.
So the history of it comes out for GTA 5 comes out on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 towards the end.
So
and then
2013 is when GTA 5 released.
So people are trying to solve the mystery, and they don't solve this until GTA 5 makes a resurgence when it's released on the next gen consoles.
Mhm.
Then everybody hops back in and is getting back into the mystery. And only then, about 4 or 5 years later, excuse me,
Blessings.
do they find the golden peyote and discover Bigfoot. Has been us the entire time.
Ooh.
But
Well, not us, just like humans.
so first they discovered that golden peyote on Tuesday, and so they thought the mystery was solved.
Yes.
But then only much later did they realize. Oh wait, no, because
No.
the coders.
The coders-
Right, they built into the like code of the game. They actually wrote a line that was like, it was a cryptic thing. I think along the lines of like, it was a mistake to start his search on a Tuesday.
Yes.
So I was like,
So
okay, what does this
So
mean?
people hop back into the code and discover the coordinates for 6 more golden peyotes.
Okay.
And you've got to eat them.
So it's for each day of the week.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you got to eat them in order, starting on a certain day. Can't remember what the day was. I think it was Sunday.
Hmm.
Anyways, when you eat them, you can then click R3, I think it was, and you make a Bigfoot like noise, like grunt.
Oh, sick.
But then something replies to you,
Ooh.
and now you've got to people now realize, oh, you have to follow the sound.
I just want to cut in here. People didn't follow the sound to start off
Initially,
with.
yeah.
Initially, they like, because every time you have another one of these golden peyotes, it increases the amount of time you spend as Bigfoot until eventually it's like a permanent transformation, I think. And then what you do is like you can make the sound like Hushav said, and then people are like, okay, cool, like whatever.
Okay.
But then eventually people were like, hold on, I think one person in particular just started following the sound. So they'd grunt, they'd hear a response, and they just kept doing that,
That's cool.
kept doing that,
Yeah.
until eventually.
You find a dead body.
Oh.
The first, and you continue to find dead bodies throughout the 7 days that you do it.
Okay.
But on the 7th day, when you do it, you come to like this junkyard, and you find a werewolf, and then
So
you have
cool.
to fight the werewolf as Bigfoot.
Yeah, dude.
And that was the culmination for the Bigfoot mystery of Mount Chiliad.
So it was a werewolf.
That werewolves are real, Bigfoots are real. These are all now canon, and aliens were also.
Okay.
But
But-
it doesn't actually mean anything for the
Yeah.
story of Mount Chiliad. That was just like an Easter egg that Rockstar put there. But actually,
Not
it
an
has
Easter egg,
no,
just another mystery.
yeah, but
on
it
Mount
has, it
Chiliad.
has no bearing on that original mural.
Yeah,
with
just-
the egg, the
Mm.
UFO,
Just
and
people
the
just trying to
jetpack.
figure out that led them down this.
Yeah.
So, to this day, we still don't know what that mural means or how to solve it. There is speculation that originally there was going to be DLCs for the game, for the single player game, that was going to solve what the egg was and what the jetpack is.
Yeah.
But because GTA Online really took off and became huge, they kind of broke it down and added those elements into GTA Online. Because in the GTA Online, in the one DLC, you have to go recover an egg from a UFO that's crashed.
Nice.
And there's another mission where you are pulling off a heist from one of the military bases that is housing the UFO, the one that didn't look like that was owned by the FBI, FIB.
Okay.
Thank you. And you get a jetpack in that mission. Doesn't look like that jetpack though. It's like kind of those ones where like you stand like fully on it.
Do you remember Agent Cody Banks?
Yes.
Do you remember the jetpack they had from Agent Cody Banks by any chance? It's
Also, it's kind of like the jetpack in the Kingsman at the end, with the girl uses to shoot down the satellite.
This still hasn't been solved.
Hasn't been solved.
and
no one-
the game's been out. Well, it's been going on for a long
Over
time.
a decade.
Has anyone been able to take a jetpack?
Yeah, this one. How dumb does it look? This is essentially what the Agent Cody Banks
Jeepers,
jetpack looks
dude.
like. You can see there's the one actor standing on it.
No one will see you coming.
So funny.
But
Oh
now-
my goodness.
Did anyone try and take... Can you get possession of the egg?
So the egg is it's only online. It's an online thing because the GTA Online is separate from GTA single
The base
player.
game.
Yeah.
There are more alien, like, what's the heist thing? I think over the years they've put more stuff from heists and stuff as like part of this mystery where if
nothing in the base game now. Anything that we now
everything is GTA Online.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So I was immediately thinking like, take the jetpack, take the egg, fly it to the spaceship, and give it back. That was my immediate thought.
No, but like you can't interact with
Yeah.
the spaceships that
Right.
are floating in the sky.
Yeah.
So like, there's also one of the heists that you do is, or like you go into, there's an abandoned military base that was bought by a billionaire or something.
Oh, that is in Mount Chiliad.
That is in Mount Chiliad. That
Mm.
is like built into the mountain. And inside of that base, which was like, there are these murals on walls with like little hints to all the different like moving parts. And there's even references to like Red Dead 2 and that kind of stuff. And a religious organization in the universe of Grand
Called
Theft Auto.
Epsilon, which is kind of like their take on Scientology.
Yeah. So there's a lot. There are so many just random things. And my running theory is that there is no big overarching thing. Like when you talk about like fantasy writers, especially, they talk about how some of them are architects, where they design everything perfectly from the beginning, right? And that's where all the like puzzle pieces slot in nicely, and it's so like well crafted. Then you have the gardeners that like they build something and then they just kind of explore it as it grows. So they don't completely design the end point as well. So I'm thinking Rockstar is kind of approaching this more like a gardener, where they put some kind of seeds out and now they're just kind of like dropping stuff here and there and just having fun with it.
I have two. The first one is that it was always going to be kind of open-ended and never solved, just so there's always going to be community like buzz around it, keep the game alive, people talking about it.
Yeah, you could bring it into the next game as well.
They can, but just always to derive interest and keep people interested in the game. And my second theory was that Rockstar did this kind of just to like reflect life, and how, you know, not all the answers are always going to be laid out for you there. It's just few things, weird things happen, can't always explain it, and you're just gonna have to draw your own conclusions.
Do you know? So weirdly enough, when I was researching my topic, came across a quote from Todd Howard.
Ooh, Todd.
It's classic Todd.
Daddy
eh?
Todd.
It just works. And his opinions on like mysteries in especially the Elder Scrolls universe, and just how, like you said, real life doesn't, like, he has said that, or when asked about mysteries in the games or just like pieces of history that are missing, whatever, he has said they have no real desire to fill those holes, because that's part of what makes a world feel real and lived in is history, and you know parts being missing, or like not everything being completely solved for you.
True.
Like, which is weird, because when you think about quests and stuff in games, and generally, like it's such a neat like bow tie on it. It's never like an unfinished thing. But to have a world that feels real and something you want to explore and play more of, you need to have those like weird unfinished mysteries. But yeah, do you have anything more to add about Mount Chiliad?
Just that I don't think they'll release GTA 6 until we solve the mystery of Mount Chiliad.
I wonder, because GTA 6 is going to be set in a new zone, right? It's
going to be like Miami,
Florida,
yeah.
kind of. Okay, which has that been explored before? in
No,
Grand Theft
it'll
Auto?
be
I feel like part of it has been.
What was
Vice.
2? Vice City.
Vice City explored, I think, the Miami region, but you know, I'll leave that up to the team to research. But okay, my mystery, I guess. Okay. I love the Elder Scrolls. Kieran, you're a fan of Oblivion?
Good game.
Good game. I've played Morrowind, a tiny bit of Oblivion, and a lot of Skyrim.
Yeah.
And a mystery that's been plaguing the player base.
Oh no, we are returning to Vice City in 6.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, like my knowledge ain't bad, hey? It's not bad at all. But in the world of the Elder Scrolls, you have a couple of races. You have a bunch of different playable races or in-world races.
So like 100-meter sprint.
But you have the people of Mer, right? That's your Bosmer, your Altmer, your Falmer, Orsimer. That's all your like elven-ish races. Yeah, a lot of them stem from the same ancestor, but not all of them. And I want to be talking about the Dwemer, right? That's equivalent are dwarves.
Yeah.
But they're called like the deep dwellers or the deep people, whatever. We have never, barring a single example that I'll get to later, we've never encountered any of the Dwemer in any of the Elder Scrolls games.
Okay.
And the mystery of the Dwemer is how they disappeared. But the weirdest part of it all is that they all disappeared at the exact same time.
Wow.
They vanished from the world. What's the name of the Elder Scrolls world? It's not Midgard. That's all I can think of in my head. It has a name.
Tamriel. No.
So that's the landmass, right?
Okay.
All these different peoples came to Tamriel from different places. So the more human races, like the Bretons, your Imperials, your Nords, came from I think the north. Then a lot of the Elven races came from the Somerset Isles. Nirn, right? Oh, because you get Nirn root. Gotcha. But the Dwemer are weird because by the time the other elves got there, they were already there. And like a couple things just about the dwarves, right? They are not the jovial dwarves we think of when we think of classic fantasy. The dwarves let me rather use Dwemer. The Dwemer of the Elder Scrolls universe, they are described as being like incredibly intelligent, sometimes seen as very cruel or like detached, but their society values science, the arcane, and engineering above all else. Okay. Also an important thing to note, where a lot of the other races of the world of the Elder Scrolls revere the Aedra and Daedra. That's your like chaotic and your order kind of based deities. The Dwemer have always seen themselves as equals or just less reverent of the divine.
Yeah. They believe in science.
Yeah. Okay. Facts don't care about your feeling.
Were they ever a playable race?
Never. So we have never ever come across Dwemer in the Elder Scrolls universe. Maybe. I'm like 99% sure.
I'm pretty sure
There's one example, and I'll get to him in a moment. But okay, so how do they disappear? What is this mystery? In the first era, around the year 700, okay, there was a big old war going on. Most of the records we have of the Dwemer is they like wars with other nations. That's most of like the legacy they've left.
Okay. Are they like bad guys?
No, they're just a race
guys.
with different like I don't know, values and culture.
Were technically the elves like, Columbusing them, like coming to the land and being like, our land now?
Not really, because technically the Dwemer also came to this land at some point. I'm not 100% sure on what the native people of Tamriel are.
Okay.
But it's a land of a lot of people that have come there. Think of Catan for a second.
Okay.
Pristine, untouched.
Wheatstone sheep.
Wheatstone sheep, classic combo.
That's all you need.
So what happened was the Dwemer were there and they built inside mountains, right? They're the people of the earth. So they'd like delve down and they would build these massive, technologically advanced cities, all that kind of stuff. The Dwemer ruins are some of the creepiest, but also the coolest scientific things. Sorry, Hushav's just cracking a cold one over there.
Yeah.
One of the coolest dungeons to explore in the world of Skyrim, especially. Because there's automatons.
Yeah.
Automatons?
Automatons.
Automatons. Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
That's your
there's-
milli moment.
Yeah, kind of. But I'm self-aware enough to... Wait, what's the...
me.
But basically, like their steam power, they were able to harness powers of like the earth, like in terms of technology and science and the arcane. In the one there's a massive cave system called Blackreach that was eventually like colonized by the Dwemer as they built their cities into it and stuff. And through going, there's a College of Winterhold quest line where you need to find like the Staff of Magnus, whatever. You end up coming into possession of an Elder Scroll, which was housed in the Oculary, which is like this awesome. Actually, do I have a picture? It would be really great if I was smart enough to have a picture of this.
Now, what is an Oculary?
I do in fact not have a photo.
You can put it in post.
But so for instance here, this is Blackreach, right? It's like got these big mushrooms, it's a big cave system underground, but there's some like weird arcane technology mixed in. Through going through this area, you will end up at the Oculary, which is like, think of like a star lab. Like it's got these moving parts and it's meant to chart the stars and it's just
like planets moving around.
Kind of like that kind of
Kind of like an
vibe.
astrology type.
And they housed like an Elder Scroll, which is one of the most powerful items that has the power to like view the future, the present, and the past. Looking at it too much can make you go
I mean,
insane.
I have the power to see the present right now. Look, I'm doing it right now.
Which if you're an Elder Scroll.
And the Dwemer had access to this.
So the fact that the Dwemer were able to house it and also like kind of harness it to a certain degree speaks to how like technologically advanced they were, and kind of explains why they weren't that reverent of the divine, right? They just cared about progress and improving their civilization. They didn't care about like, morals.
Yeah. So did they? Can I speculate here?
If you
or are you
want
gonna
to.
jump? Well,
So
I've got
I've-
two
I've-
running theories. Did they jump forward in time, or did they destroy themselves by delving too deep, like in the Lord of the Rings?
Okay, so here's where it gets. So now we know a bit about the Dwemer. We know that eventually they just disappeared.
Mm.
It is important to note. Okay, so that's what we know. What I've just described is what we know about the Dwemer.
All known knowledge.
Everything from here on is conjecture.
Speculation.
Okay,
Conjecture.
one
I
of
barely
the
know.
I think the theory that has the most credence, okay, goes as follows. So, at the time, the Dwemer were fighting the Dunmer, the Dark Elves, right? And the Dunmer reside in like the northeastern region of the land of Tamriel near Red Mountain, okay? And there was a massive battle going on. It was actually, I think it was just called the Battle of Red Mountain, frankly.
Mountain Dew.
Anyways, not important, yeah?
Okay. While they were fighting in this area, the Dwemer were mining, like gathering resources, and they came across something called the Heart of Lorcan, okay, which is in the world of what's it? The Elder Scrolls is like
Nern.
in the universe of it is what is called a divine spark. Think of it as like the seed you need to create a god.
Ooh.
Okay.
And they found this, and one of the leading, they're called tonal architects. Tonal magic is a whole separate thing, not separate from your normal magic systems.
Okay.
But the chief tonal architect, called Lord Kagranak,
Good name.
had made something called Kagranak's tools in order to harness the power of the Heart of Lorcan. Now, obviously, I can imagine, like you guys, obviously you can imagine that having the power to harness the seed of a god, you could potentially create your own deity. And the running theory is that Lord Kagranak, for the betterment of his people, wanted to grant them immortality and essentially ascend to the godhood. Okay, bring all the people of the Dwemer race up to godhood together.
That's a lot.
So while the Battle of Red Mountain was ongoing, okay, at some point in the battle, everyone disappeared.
Sheesh.
Who was
And
battling at Red Mountain?
So the Dunmer,
and the Dark Elves.
So Dunmer are the Dark Elves, and the Dwemer are the dwarves.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, because they had an alliance that broke down after the Heart of Lorcan was found. It's a whole thing. The history of the Elder Scrolls is insane. But so the running theory is, after having found the Heart of Lorcan, Kagranak was busy experimenting on it, and maybe he succeeded, maybe he didn't. We don't actually know if they all just died, if they were wiped out of existence by the Aedra and the Daedra for trying to play with, in the realm of the gods when they, shouldn't. Some people thought it was Lorcan's punishment. Okay, you've tried to take my heart, now you shall pay for it. in dwarven ruins, you will find piles of ash with like apparel and weaponry and stuff around it.
So they turn to ash.
Okay, so that's the one idea. What you were talking about earlier, right? There is a single dwarf that we've met in the Elder Scrolls games, and his name is tough to say. It is called Yagrum Bagon. Yagrum Bagon
Okay.
is a Dwemer that you meet in Morrowind. And, you know, not caring too much about backstory and stuff or like quests, he explains he was visiting the Outer Worlds, which means like a parallel universe. Think about the Oblivion Gates.
Yeah.
Okay, where you'd kind of go into a different universe. Or a different realm, rather. He was visiting an outer realm, or the outer realm, and then when he came back, all of his like family, friends, and his entire race was gone. He is the last dwarf in existence. Okay, and so one potential thing is that if Lord Kagranak succeeded, then potentially all the dwarves were just taken to another realm. Okay. But once again, we don't know. None of the, like, barring some of the history of the dwarves and the fact that they all disappeared, everything else is conjecture. So, like, some people just think, like, they didn't succeed at all. They were just killed by the gods, or there were other parties involved that, like, somehow caused, you know, devastation and stuff. Also, the potential is that they just, you know, died out eventually, or they were like conquered and assimilated, and the like history books were rewritten, because, you know, history is written by the victors.
But how long was the one dwarf gone? Does he say? No.
So that's the problem, right? He doesn't explain exactly how long he was gone, where he went, right? He just said he went to the outer realm. So the fate of the dwarves is completely unknown.
But I don't think like that part about them being conquered and assimilated would work, because if he...
Yeah, because then it wouldn't happen all at once, right?
Yes.
But it's... Barring that, like, we don't know what happened to the dwarves at all. We don't know if they did ascend. We don't know if they, like, were punished and, like... What's it? Sizzled. They're like the gods smited. Smote?
Smitted.
Smitted them.
Ooh.
And it's one of those things, like what I would say, odds are we're never going to find out what actually happened to them. But the like civilization that they left behind is unreal. There is one other point I would like to bring up, and that is that the Falmer, right? In the world of the Elder Scrolls, you had the snow elves that inhabited the northern regions of Tamriel. When the human races, especially the Nords, started making their way across, they started exterminating them. Like, the goal of the Nords was to purge the snow elves. The snow elves turned to the Dwemer to ask for help, and the Dwemer agreed on the condition that the snow elves would like partake in the certain like practice and live in their halls, whatever. Eventually, after hundreds, if not thousands of years, the snow elves became the Falmer as we know them today, like goblin-like creatures that are blind. And there is a theory that the earlier experiments of like ascending to godhood and other realms and stuff were performed on the Falmer as a way to like test their theories, or like the Dwemer just wanted like test subjects for their experiments.
Jeez.
And there's a tablet I've got over here. Right, this is a tablet you find in a dwarven ruin in the city of Markarth, and it is being studied by a court wizard called, I think, Calselmo, and the translation of it is the contract between the dwarves and the Falmer, and it goes like this. And so it was that your people were given passage to our steam gardens and the protections of our power. Many of your people had perished under the roaring, snow-throated kings of Mora. So that's the Nords. And your wills were broken, and we heard you, and sent our machines against your enemies to thereby take you under. Only by the grace of the Dwemer did your culture survive, and only by the 15 and 1 tones did your new lives begin. So 15 and 1 tones, a reference to the tonal magic, right? We do not desire thanks, for we do not believe in it. We do not ask for gratitude, for we do not believe in it. We only request that you partake of the symbol of our bond, the fruit of the stones around us. And as your vision clouds, as the darkness sets in, fear not. Know only our mercy and the radiance of our affection, which unbinds your bones to the earth before, and sets your final path to the music of your new eternity.
Jeepers.
So the running theory is that they took in the Falmer as test subjects to potentially ascend to godhood, travel to new realms, all that kind of stuff. So it is, and yeah, we don't know.
Which
None
game
of this,
was this found in?
This is in Skyrim, which is, the most.
So
it's
it's
Elder
most
Scrolls.
recent. So that was the last bit of information we had.
Kind of, yeah. So a lot of the information comes from Skyrim and the books that you find there. A fair amount comes from Morrowind as well, because in Morrowind there is, I think, an elf that's like 4,000 years old. He's an Ultima, who also drops a bit of knowledge. There's a scholar in Oblivion who drops a bit of knowledge. A lot of it's been collected across like various games and from the Elder Scrolls Online as well. And that's the mystery of the Dwemer. That's the fate of the Dwemer that we have no clue about.
That's really
See, that's something where I'll be like, Todd, you can't leave that open-ended, man.
How
Oh my
good
God.
though? How good?
If the Elder Scrolls series ever comes to fruition, I hope this is something that they.
Like, you mean they conclude the Elder Scrolls games?
No, the Elder Scrolls like TV series.
Mm.
That this is the type of like story they might try
Explore.
and tell. Yeah, explore.
Oh, the disappearance of the Dwemer would be awesome.
dude. Sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Because they can make it like a proper anthology series for all of this mysteries.
There are a lot, like the Elder Scrolls. We've had Elder Scrolls 5 is Skyrim.
Yeah.
Besides any like side games or Elder Scrolls Online, so there's a lot of mysteries to be found in the game.
Do people play Elder Scrolls Online?
I think you'd be surprised by how active the community is. Like, a lot of people do it, and I feel like I see videos popping up every now and again of like, I spent 4 days, like a full 4 days in Elder Scrolls Online, or I went
like RPing.
kind of.
Do you think that one dwarf guy, what was his name, who could like,
Yamager.
who did the
Yagrum Bagan, the
think-
surviving dwarf?
No, the other guy, the guy,
The Lord Kagranak, the
Yeah.
one that performed the experiment that potentially doomed his people.
Do you think he did it on purpose?
So the
Like, he
It's
was
a
like, our
description.
people are like these, it's like,
Mm-mm.
no, you don't think so?
So Yagrum Bargum,
Yeah.
the surviving dwarf that you meet in Morrowind, I think in dialogue with him, he speaks to Lord Kagranak's nature
Okay.
and who he is as an individual,
Yeah.
and that everything he ever did in his entire life was to the betterment of his people.
Yeah.
And part of his desire to harness the power of the Heart of Lorcan was to essentially create make dwarves immortal, and B, and there is another one, I think, but B is to make a new deity called the God of Brass that would exclusively be at the beck and call of dwarves, to create a dwarven god controlled by them,
Whoa.
to, smite their enemies, all that kind of stuff. And I think it's his name, the god's name would have been Nemindium.
So it wouldn't have been like them like choosing a champion and ascending that champion to godhood. They wanted to make something from scratch.
Kind of.
Mm.
It was for them. Like, I think of the dwarves as, yes, a people, and they cared about only their people. So in a sense, selfish or very nationalistic, I guess. Like, you can see what happened with the snow elves and the Falmer.
Yeah.
Right? They took them in, but only for their betterment and
Yeah, so that's cool, man. That's open ended. Like, it could have been like the punishment of the gods
it could have
for reaching too far.
It could have been another nation interfering.
Yeah.
It could have been a singular deity. It could have been multiple. It could have been assassins. We have no idea what happened in those final moments.
That's juicy.
It's very juicy.
Sheesh. I want to know.
I want to know too, dude.
Todd, if you're listening
Todd?
to this,
My guy.
He's got a Twitter. You can tweet at him.
tweet Underleveled tweet. Hey,
Maybe
What
we
happened?
can bribe him with something.
But yeah, I think so. That's 3 different mysteries. Well, a couple extras, but we had a bit of the Dark Souls lore.
Yeah.
No, not Dark
a
Souls.
little bit.
Yes,
of
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Sorry, in
Dark
my head I was
Soulsy,
thinking Demon
Soulsy
Souls.
lore.
Souls lore. We had a bit of Grand Theft Auto 5. Well, Grand Theft Auto lore in general, and we had a bit of Elder Scrolls lore in general.
Yeah.
I had fun, guys. No joke.
That was really good.
I like mysteries. I like mysteries.
You guys
as
tell
well.
a good mystery story, eh?
Ooh, we gotta do some spooky campfire sometime. Maybe
Halloween-
there'll be
Halloween
spooky,
time.
a spooky campfire special at some point. But yeah, that will be rounding out our discussion for today. Thank you very much for listening. I don't know, guys. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to share? Anyone?
You have any mysteries you want us to check out? Maybe we can do a part 2 of this. Find some more mysteries to talk about.
Yeah.
Potentially, if you really enjoy it, maybe we'll do another episode sometime in the future.
Or maybe put your theories in the comments as well.
Yeah, you have any
What do you guys
theories
think?
about the mysteries we brought up today?
Any corrections for my
Yeah,
my
no, I
information
think
and law?
the biggest
All
issue with
welcome.
doing these mystery ones is like unless we have everything in front of us,
Yeah.
like it's so tough to get every single fact correct.
Yeah.
And we are open to corrections,
Yeah.
100%. But then for today, I guess my name is Björn,
My name's Hushav.
I'm Kieran.
and this has been the Underleveled podcast.
Don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button.
And maybe just
Give a fresh high five to someone.
turn to your left, turn to your right. Give the person on your left, because I assume everyone's watching with at least 2 friends.
No,
Give them-
please watch individually on your own device. Do not watch with friends.
And maybe if
Oh,
you have...
don't. We're doing the no
Yeah.
password sharing thing, but for watching a YouTube.
if you have like a PC and a computer, maybe like put them both on at the same time.
Maybe just make 5 extra accounts. Make 5 extra Google accounts, and have them running simultaneously. We'd appreciate that. Go through our entire backlog, even.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, just make a playlist and put on repeat.
There we go.
fantastic. We hope you have an amazing day watching us 24 hours a day. Fall asleep to us fall asleep with us in your ears. Goodbye.
Peace
Auf
out.
Wiedersehen. Hamburger Gushle.
Peace.
Let's go
Totsiens.
Nuggets.
Football.
Okay.